Hello language learners. A few videos back I was talking about sentence mining, which is a strategy to pick up vocab and phrases without spending so much intensive time on vocab and phrases and grammar and stuff like that. Link below in the description for more on that. Similarly, this video is going to be about laddering. Laddering is another very specific strategy that's popular, especially with people who are learning more than one language, because you need more than one foreign language to do it. So if you don't know what laddering is it's learning a new language coming from a second language. Let me give you an example to clear that up a little bit. I am at intermediate/advanced level Spanish, and I'm at a pretty beginner stage of French. If I want to ladder, and if I wanted to improve both languages at once, I would be studying French in an app, in a book, something like that doesn't have any English, but instead is treating me as if I speak Spanish natively. So that means all directions, all translations, everything would be in Spanish, not English. So obviously this only works if you're at a certain comprehension level at the first language, because if you don't know any of the first language, then you're just gonna be confusing yourself. It's not gonna make sense. But laddering can be a very, very effective way to improve or maintain a intermediate to advanced level language without really putting a whole lot of effort into it. It's a good way to study two languages at once. Now, there are a ton of ways to do this, obviously, but in this video, I'm specifically going to talk about two specific apps that are really helpful with this and a couple other little tips and tricks that aren't exactly apps, but can still be really helpful for this. Also, keep in mind, it's pretty common for language learning resources to function in a variety of different languages, both to make it accessible to people who don't speak English natively or very well, and also for laddering purposes. So I'm only going to talk about two language learning resources in this video just because I think they do this very well and very effectively. But that doesn't mean these are the only apps that do this. If you're already using an app that you really like and you want to try this out, it's probably easy enough to go into the settings of your account in the app or something along those lines. It really depends on the resource that you're working with. So the first resource that I'm going to talk about is also one of the main stars of that video on sentence mining, and that's Glossika. In that video on sentence mining, I really went in depth with how Glossika works. I'm not going to really do that right now, but I am going to show you the language options that Glossika offers on their website. As you can see here, we're going to start with target language. Target language, obviously the language that you're interested in learning. There are, I believe, 60 or so languages that Glossika offers. You can search by language name, by language family, by language region. Really, really helpful. Also, you can select your source language. Look at all of these languages that you can learn from. Side note, if you're looking at your language learning app for this, source language might be a helpful term to be looking for. But with Glossika, looks like you can use Glossika from most, if not all, of the languages they teach. I'm not about to count those, but that's a lot. That's a lot of options for laddering and for those of you who do not speak English natively. Which, by the way, hello to you guys. This is really fun because my website usually attracts Americans, and it's really fun that my YouTube videos attract people from all over the world. So hello. This is really great for accessibility, really great for, just because you don't speak English comfortably doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to learn other languages, but also makes a really good option for laddering, which can be a very helpful way to improve your comprehension of an intermediate/advanced level foreign language. That's pretty simple. I mean, this whole concept is pretty simple. The other one I'm going to share with you is one of my favorites, Monly. This is something that is really special about Monly outside of the AR and chatbots and everything else. This is something that Monly really advertises a lot, is that all of the languages that you can learn Monly, that you can use Monly to learn, all of the languages that Monly teaches, you can use to learn those languages. See right here, this is just like the homepage of Monly. I speak all these different options. This is every single language that they teach. You can also use it as a source language. So let's see, Polish, I want to learn. Any of these languages. It doesn't change no matter what, no matter which language you're using as a source language, the target languages don't change with Monly, which is awesome. And that is the reason why I chose Glossika and Monly for this video. because, like I said, a lot of language learning resources do offer more source languages than just English, which is great, but a lot of them aren't totally consistent in that. For example, Duolingo has a ton of different trees that are not based in English, but you know, if you're approaching it with Spanish, you don't have access to all the trees. It's really not reliable, consistent. That's what most language learning resources I found are like. Glossika and Monly are consistent across these languages. I know for a fact you can use Monly to learn any of their languages from any of their languages. Glossika, I'm not, don't quote me on whether or not that's true of Glossika, but there's a lot. Even though I only mentioned 2 resources, that doesn't mean those are the only 2 ways for you to ladder your languages. So I'm finishing up editing this video and I realized that it's really short because I completely forgot an entire app. So let me show you right now, because this is also a really excellent app for laddering, and this one is UTalk. Here we have the UTalk app. I've been through this app before in another video, link below in the description for that one, where I really walk through the whole UTalk process that I really like. And one of the things that is great about UTalk is the sheer number of languages it teaches. Like, I believe it's like over 140 different languages. I have the exact number and the exact languages in my review on my blog in the link below in the description. So there's all these languages, which I've talked about before. There's a lot. Like a lot of languages that I have never even heard of before, which is awesome. But if you click this little gear button up on the right hand corner, fun fact, I believe it was in my review of UTalk, somebody asked if this is a thing that you can do. It is a thing you can do. So we're in the settings, application language. It's currently under English British. I'm not British, I'm American. So if I put it English, if I make it American English, it'll probably be easier for me to use anyways. But nonetheless, there are a ton of languages, and like Glossika, I am not 100% certain, but from here it seems like you can use any of the languages to ladder onto any of the other languages, which is the point of this video. So I mean, even somebody who speaks Oromo, Malik, I can't even pronounce these languages because I've never heard of them. And then, you see this little search bar, search for Polish, Polski. So now I'm learning French from Polish, but I don't want to do that, so let me exile this. English American. Okay, which actually reminds me, I should do this to Monly too, because Monly is in British English, and I don't speak British English, so when it teaches me cookies, yeah, I think what in Afrikaans, cookies is cookies, but in British English that's biscuits, so it's asking me to translate biscuits, but biscuits in American English is like a type of bread, it's not a cookie, so it's kind of confusing, so I should do that in Monly, now that I'm thinking about it. But regardless, UTalk is a great way to also ladder from any one of these languages. Like I said, UTalk has, I believe, over 140, definitely over 100, but I believe it's over 140 languages that you can use UTalk to learn and to learn from. Again, link below in the description for my review of UTalk that goes through this whole process. Another really easy way to do this is to change the source language in your computer, your phone, your Facebook, your Instagram, any social media, Google, stuff like that. I talked more about this in my video on phone hacks, but this is a really simple way of immersing yourself more in the language, using the language, it's not technically laddering, if you're just scrolling through Instagram or something and, Instagram is not in English, but it's in German or something. It's not technically laddering, but it falls under the same umbrella, I think. Yeah, so I think it's worth mentioning in this video. But that is all I have for this video. If there are any other language learning resources that you know that do laddering really well, please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, you can find me every other Monday at my blog at crashculture.com and every single Wednesday and Sunday right here on YouTube. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.